Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. In today's market outlook, we're going to be discussing, of course, the major dollar pairs and obviously where gold is going to be heading next. So diving in towards the dollar index, first of all, we seem to be breaking out of this descending trend line at the moment. As we can see, we saw a nice bullish impulse in towards the high yesterday, and we now have a clean area of demand, which I'm looking to take a long from. Now, if we go in towards the lower time frame, just looking at, for example, the 1 hour time frame, what you can then see is that we have a very clear liquidity low, which is situated right above this area of demand. So what I'm looking for is maybe just a slightly lower tap and then a further accelerated move in towards the upside. What we need to see in order to confirm that that move is going to happen in towards the highs is obviously a bullish reaction once we come in towards that area of demand. So what you want to see is a change of character occur, a area of demand form, and then that shift back up in towards the highs, guys. So that is what I'm looking for at this moment in time from the dollar. If this area of demand does not hold, then obviously it is more likely that we'll see another push in towards the downside. So then we could potentially move all the way back down in towards this lower fresh area of demand. Otherwise, if we do react to this area of demand, just wait for that change of character and then look for a long, definitely back up in towards this area of supply over here. So moving on in towards our main pair, which is obviously EURUSD. On EURUSD, we can see that that area of demand did not hold as we were pretty much really expecting. Remember, guys, the longer that you maintain or the longer that you are inside of an area of demand, the weaker it gets. So we saw eventually a push down a little bit lower, pretty much just grabbing this liquidity low, which is situated over here. If you go in towards the 1 hour, it will become a little bit more clear that this is a liquidity low. You can kind of see obviously these higher lows being formed, and then what happens, you wick below that low and then you reverse back in towards the highs. Now, looking at the 4 hour time frame, overall order flow at the moment is bearish. I'm going to be looking and keeping an eye on further downside movements. At the moment, this is pretty much the buy before the sell. So I'm looking for a short inside of this area of supply as of now to potentially short EURUSD deeper all the way back down in towards this area of demand. Now, go then in towards the 15-minute. Then what you'll see is that you're inside an extreme area of supply situated over here, and that we've now grabbed the liquidity pretty much above this high over here. So what I'm now doing is I'm keeping an eye on what's going to be happening next, how are we going to react to this area of supply, and can we take a potential short back in towards the downside. So that's that for EURUSD. For the rest, there's no real clear areas of supply. What we do have is a lot of like lower highs forming and a lot of liquidity building up above this. But as long as the high is respected of this overall 4 hour structure, I do expect us to head down lower. If we break this 4 hour high, then it is going to be likely that we're going to move up higher and grab the liquidity, which is resting above all of these highs. Now going in towards AUDUSD, on AUDUSD, we can see that as well, that area of demand failed. Obviously, we already wicked through it. So yeah, it was just too weak to still hold price. Overall, no clean areas of demand. You guys know I was looking for further downside based on the daily, because the daily was inside supply. So all week I have been calling for further downside. So nice to see that that came through. We're now inside of this imbalance candle over here, and I'm looking for a potential continuation back in towards the highs. Now, looking at the 4 hour time frame, this area of consolidation is obviously an area of demand. What you now want to see is just the 4 hour change of character to confirm that we're now ready to push up higher again. Trend is still bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and now we're looking to form a new potential higher low inside that area of daily demand. Now what you want to look for is obviously a nice setup on the 4 hour, or if you go in towards the 50-minute time frame, you can also look over there for a potential setup. Try trading with the overall trend. At the moment, I'm not a massive fan of looking for any longs. Just because there's a lot of liquidity built up below this. Over here, we have some corrective ascending price action, and we still have some supply over here, supply over here. So yeah, not a big fan of longs. Definitely still going to be waiting, and preferably what you would like to see is one more sweep of the lows. Over here, this becomes your change of character high, and then, for example, boom, and then we have that confirmation. So maybe next week, Monday. Now, going onwards in towards pound dollar. Pound dollar has also been moving a little bit interesting. As we can see, still some higher price movement. If we go in towards the 4 hour real quick, on the 4 hour time frame, what you can see is that we pretty much tapped in towards that area of supply, which I mentioned yesterday. some very corrective ascending price action, guys. Very choppy, so no real bullish intentions in my opinion. Obviously I could be wrong, but once you see kind of like this over here, you still see the market moving up higher, but in a very weak manner. So it is more likely than not that we're going to see a downside correction in the very near future. Maybe first tapping towards that area of supply again, and then that real sell-off will come. So that is the 4 hour. Looking at the daily as well, we're obviously still in daily supply inside this buy before the sell candle. So still looking to see if we can trade it down lower. Now going onwards towards NZDUSD. NZDUSD has pushed up higher very beautifully in towards that area of supply. Definitely looking for shorts on this pair, guys. Go in towards the 15 real quick. Looking at the 4 hour, by the way, break of structure over here, tapping towards daily supply and 4 hour consolidation, which is acting as supply. 4 hour change of character bearish, so go in towards the 15. Definitely just looking for further downside also after a break of structure over here. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Just wait for kind of like structure to break over here, and then we'll just look for downside continuation. Last pair, which is gold. Gold has sold off very aggressively yesterday. Looking at the daily, where are we heading next? Well, the daily still has some room. We're now pretty much inside of this overall sell for the buy. So yeah, looking to go long very soon. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, what do we have? Well, we don't actually have that many areas of clean demand. There's nothing really that is attracting me personally to look for a potential long. Going in towards the 2 hour time frame, because if the 4 hour and the 1 hour are too messy, I sometimes look at the 2 hour. We'll kind of have this area of demand. It's also not the most high probable area of demand, but just keep an eye on the 1 hour time frame, because at the moment it is very clear that the overall order flow is still bearish in towards the downside, guys. So just wait for that order flow to shift, and then we'll look for that potential long. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day, and we'll speak soon. Thanks, guys.